Hey guys, this is Etan Sun from SunBros. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you guys this brand new video. But before we get started with that, I want to make sure I remind you guys on how to get entered in for a chance to win our guaranteed skin giveaways that we do every Sunday night during our 1-hour question and answer live stream. All you gotta do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and comment below with your in-game name and which skin you'd like to receive on either the NA or EU servers under 700 vouchers. And remember, the more videos that you do this with that are uploaded each week, the higher chance you have to win. Alright guys, welcome to our Wukong how to build video. This one is one that I'm very excited about. I've been putting it off for quite a while, but I feel like it is time to get this one taken care of. Obviously Wukong has been one of my favorite heroes throughout my time playing this game, and you know, they don't call me Wukong for no reason. I have been very dominant on him for a very long time. So as you guys know, I don't play him a lot lately because of some issues that the hero himself is having, but it's still important for me to get out the build there to you guys. For those of you who want to play Wukong more and want to learn how to play him at his best, I'm here. I am the guy to help teach you guys how to build him correctly in order to make the most of him and his abilities. As always, we're going to be starting on the hero page to take a look at who Wukong is, what his abilities are, and what exactly his strengths and weaknesses are, so we can best figure out how to build him with gear to maximize his potential. So starting off, Wukong's passive, God of War. Each time Wukong uses an ability, his next normal attack is enhanced and deals an additional 330. Now, the 330 portion of this passive does scale. Excuse me. So 330 is at level 1, and it scales all the way up to 526 at level 15. It scales with your hero's level. And then the 167 is an 80 scaling, and that is a 1.0. That is 167 is Wukong's base 80 amount. So it's a 1.0 AD scaling, so you can get up to 526 plus 1.0 of your attack damage. Pretty good stuff. And then Wukong also tumbles towards the target, so when you do an ability, his next normal attack is increased and he tumbles, so he has a little bit of a range where he dashes to the target and hits him with this enhanced ability. And then of course, Wukong's staff grants him 15% extra critical chance permanently. So probably one of the best passes in the game, bar none. Wukong. This is the part of Wukong's kit that makes him hit so unbelievably hard, where he can crit for 5,000-6,000 late game, and a 15% critical chance strike is a lot. That's a solid amount, and it's super helpful, especially in the early game. Wukong's first ability is Shadow Clone. Wukong temporarily disappears and gains 40% movement speed for 1 second. Cooldown starts at 15 and goes down to 9 by level 6. This ability is extremely good. I remember everything. Wukong's abilities may seem short and they may not seem very powerful, but they're all followed up by this incredible passive, which adds a lot of damage to Wukong as a whole and really makes his kit complete. So invisibility, movement speed makes good for an engage, or of course makes great for a disengage. Then we have Wukong's second ability, Great Sage. Wukong tumbles toward the specified direction, gaining 100 armor and magic defense for 3 seconds. Not a lot, but enough to make a difference. And then the cooldown starts at 8 seconds, goes down to 5 by level 6. And the armor and magic defense starts at 100 and goes to 200 at level 6. So a little tankiness for Wukong. This kind of helps Wukong survive long enough to do what he's got to do and get out. And of course, the ultimate monkey business. Wukong unleashes his inner chi, knocking nearby enemies into the air, dealing damage. That's a 150 base damage that goes to 230 by level 3, and the 80 scaling is a 0.5 80 scaling, as we just discussed. His natural 80s base 80 is 167. So, and then he stuns them for 1 second. He can use his ultimate again within 5 seconds to make Wukong disappear and increase his movement speed by 40% for 1 second. Now, there's a bit of a difference between Wukong's disappearance and his increased movement speed from his first ability to this one. The first ability, he seems to be much more difficult to actually attack, as opposed to this one, which he's not easy to attack, but he's quite a bit easier than the first ability. I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is, but definitely there's a noticeable difference in the quality of the invisibility for Wukong as far as it comes to not getting attacked. Now we're going to go to the equipment page here, and we are going to build Wukong out to the best of his capabilities. And this is one that I don't need any assistance with. I'm very comfortable with exactly how I want to build Wukong out. And I'm going to give you guys 2 builds. One is going to be the main build that I use, and then I'm going to give you a secondary build that's going to be something that I occasionally do use every now and then, and was my original build on Wukong that I actually played with. Now, first and foremost, Wukong is a jungler and he deserves to be in the jungle. That is his main position. If you guys want to take him top lane, it's not the end of the world, but take the jungle build still because it still works best on him. Because one of the best items in the game on any hero is Soul Reaver on Wukong. It fits him perfectly. The life still gives him early game sustain while he's farming the jungle. The attack damage starts at 80 and goes up to 125. With the stacks, that is the second highest in the game. And of course you get Frostbite, which is a great ability on Wukong for a myriad of different reasons. And then you get 15% cooldown reduction. So really incredible item on Wukong. That gives him just a little bit of everything that he actually needs. Then we're going to go to the boot section, and we're going to be getting Gilded Greaves. Gilded Greaves is for one simple reason. The magic defense, I mean, it's nice, but we don't need it. Wukong's job as an assassin is to get in, murder, and get out. And taking damage is not a part of his gig. So the magic defense is going to help us stay alive so we can get in and out. But the reason we take this, of course, is because of the unique passive resistance, which is going to reduce all crowd control effects by 35%. So if you were to get stunned, slowed, knocked up, knocked back, frozen, anything like that, for 1 second, the resistance will take it down to 0.65 seconds, which is pretty awesome for Wukong, as somebody who has short cooldowns on abilities that can constantly come up to help him get out of dodge. Alright, we're going straight back to the attack section where we're going to stay for the rest of this build. And we're going to be taking Clave Sanctity. The beauty of Wukong is hitting big fat attacks, and critical strike chance is a part of that. Now the incredible thing about building Wukong this way is this. First of all, you get the 90 attack damage. Beautiful. We want to make those fat hits as hard as possible, and that every auto attack we do after an ability, we want it to hit as hard as humanly possible. And then, so we get the first passive doesn't matter to us because it's range heroes only, but then we get the 25% critical chance. We already have 15 base with our passive. That gives us 40% crit chance, and we're going to get the unique passive plus 50% critical strike damage, which is going to make those auto attacks even sweeter. Clave Sanctity is another item that is absolutely 100% perfect on Wukong, no questions asked. Now, where do we go from here, you might ask? I know some Wukong players veered away from this next item once Clave Sanctity and it got changed, but I did not. I think it's critical to Wukong's success in this game, and that of course is Slick Sting. Now, there's a couple reasons to take Slick Sting, but really only 2.5 reasons to take Slick Sting. Number one, critical chance, 25% more crit chance. That gives us a total of 65%, which is a pretty solid amount that will help us to get plenty of crits throughout the game. Number two is the passive. It increases heroes' resistance by 35% for 2 seconds. So, same thing. Now we have 70% resistance. So when you get stunned for a second, it's not only going to last 0.3 seconds. That resistance is delicious and quite wonderful. Now, the 0.5 was for the movement speed. Always nice to have movement speed on an assassin, but not totally necessary. And, excuse me, last but not least, the attack speed is pretty much worthless. I mean, it can come in handy, I guess, every now and then, but for the most part, that attack speed is not something we are going to be needing in any way, shape, or form. Now, we're 4 items deep. At this point, Wukong is starting to do some really heavy damage. We have 70% resistance, which is really going to help us be able to get out of dangerous situations whenever we were to get crowd control. That's one of Wukong's biggest weaknesses, is when he goes in to assassinate and get out. If he gets crowd controlled, he's very squishy. He can die very, very quickly. But now we have a 70% reduction of the crowd control effects on us, which really helps us get out of dodge because we have low cooldowns on our first and second ability, and we can hit our ultimate again to go invis with a 40% movement speed buff. So Wukong's ability to get out of dodge is really just as big in quality and important as his ability to get in and deal max amounts of burst damage. So the next item we're going to be going with is going to help us sustain in that situation. Let's say we jump in, let's say we're getting a little fed, we jump in and we kill 2 squishies backlighting. We want to stay in the fight because we have no reason to leave. We need an item to help us sustain enough to be able to go mano a mano late game, and that is going to be the Beast. Now, this is a little bit of a controversial item. A lot of people like to go towards some armor penetration at this point. I don't think Wukong needs it. Wukong's primary job is to kill squishies, and armor penetration is not going to really make a massive difference in this scenario because now it's not important, but at this point I'd rather have lifesteal, so I can start taking objectives easier. I can really help my sustain out there, so I can do a good job of staying out in the fights and staying involved in ganking and team fights and whatnot. Now we have 25% lifesteal from the Beast. We still have that 6 from Soul Reaver for a max of 31%. Pretty solid, not a bad gig at all. We're also going to be building some Armor Pierce in our Arcana. And then last but not least, we are going to go Rank Breaker, because late game, we're going to find ourselves fighting tanks and off tanks more often after we knock squishies down, and that's when it comes in handy. Now, I will switch Rank Breaker to Muramasa if I find that the enemy is building armor heavy. So keep that in mind. It's really important that we make that change if we need to, based on how much armor the main tank 2 are building. So if you have a tanky top lane and a tanky support, or a tanky jungler and top lane, or whatever it is, if they're building a lot of armor, then switch out Rank Breaker from Marsa. But this is going to give us another 110 attack damage, bringing us to a total of 125 plus 90. That's 215. Plus, there's nothing on Slick Sting. Plus 100 on the Beast. That's 315. Plus 110 on Rank Breaker for 425 attack damage. It's a pretty solid amount. Now, just to give you guys an idea, if you do decide to sell boots late game, not out of the question. I wouldn't bother selling Soul Reaver. It's a great item on Wukong. If you're selling boots on Wukong late game, there's only a couple of directions really to go. If you want to be able to sustain a little bit better, you can go Omni Arms. Works just fine. You get 10% more lifesteal, you get some health, you get some more cooldown reduction. Really helps him stay alive. You still get 70 attack damage and some worthless attack speed. And of course the passive elemental power, where you get an extra attack damage. Now this actually works pretty well, because at this point Wukong has 495 attack damage, so you're doing an extra 495 damage on each of your big fat attacks. Does help. That's more of a sustain type item. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting Fenrir's Tooth. I could at times, in a really tense situation where everything just seems super critical, I can be swayed to look at getting Ancestral Glory for one of its cooldowns, and then once the cooldown goes, I sell it. But the item I'm mainly going to buy is going to be Fenrir's Tooth. 200 more attack damage. It puts us at a whopping 625, and then we're going to get 30% more damage done to targets below 50%. At that time, you're talking about critting people in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 7,000 damage, and it's just obscene. So that is what you're going to do selling boots wise after that's done. Now I'm going to take you into the glorious look at our second build. This is a build that I used for quite a while. I really enjoyed it. This is a more high damage, less sustain build. Now, Soul Reaper, same start. We're switching boots because if you're going to do this build, you better get fed. You really want to get fed. So we need that extra movement speed from Hermes to be able to navigate the map, to farm faster, gank faster, get kills faster, steal jungle faster, so that we can get money faster. That's what Hermes is for in this situation. We're going Clave Sanctity and Slick Sting combination again, putting us at 65% crit chance. And then we're going Rank Breaker the step before. So at this point we're fed, we're getting some early armor pierced so that we can help knock down even tanks and off tanks earlier game because we have so much cash money. And then of course we're going with Omni Arms for that extra little bit of everything. Now, if you'd like to swap out Omni Arms for Fenrir's Tooth, perfectly acceptable. If you just want to go balls to the wall damage, not a bad thing on Wukong, but not super suggested. Now, this is not a go in, do an F ton of damage, and get out. This is really a get in and do an F ton of damage, and hopefully you don't get killed in the process. This allows for a lot less get out than the other one does, or a lot less survivability overall. But it's a tried and true build that I've used before that I actually really enjoy. But this is the main build that we're going with today. Soul Reaver, Gilded Greaves, Glaive Sanctity, Slick Sting, the Beast, and Rank Breaker. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about some Arcana options. There's really only one feasible way to go, and we're not going to get that much armor pierce. We're still going to get some. So as you guys can see, we get 25 damage, 7% crit chance, putting us at 72% crit chance end game with this build, which is a lot. And then 64 armor pierce, 30% crit damage. So now we're gonna do an extra 86% crit damage, when we're critting because of the Clave Sanctity passive and this here 10% movement. How we're going to do that is we're going to go with Rampage, which gives us that 7% crit chance and the extra 36% crit damage. And then purple, we're going to be going Assassinate for that extra 16 attack damage and 1% movement speed. And then we're going to be going with Skewer to round that attack damage out to 25 while giving us an armor pierce of 64. So late game, when we're fully built with either build, really, we're going to have, when we go by rank breaker, we're going to have 314 armor pierce, which is nothing to scoff at. Honestly, that's plenty to just one-shot any squishy with Wukong, and that is our goal. So this is the Arcana we're going to be going with, and of course then we're going to go and check out the talents. And I told you guys there's only one way to build him, and that is Jungly. So Punish is always going to be the talent we take. Wukong is phenomenal at stealing objectives or getting objectives. Punish is great for him if he's trying to chase an enemy hero down and finish them off. That passive really helps, but so does Frostbite when you can slow enemies down. Really helpful. And then, like, if there's somebody right out of your range and you can't quite catch up, but you just get in Frostbite range, slow them, hop to them, kill them, end of story. On the flip side, it's also great for, like I said, securing objectives and all that kind of stuff. And then it's also good for escaping if you need to escape. Frostbite, Invis, or jump away into a bush and do your thing. Wukong has one of the best escapability kits in the entire game. I really like that about him. So that is our talents, guys, and so that is it. Let me give you guys a recap of our build. Soul Reaver, Gilded Greaves, Clave Sanctity, Slick Sting, the Beast, and last but not least, Rank Breaker. That is our build that we go with on Wukong. It will change your life. It gives Wukong a real solid one-shot burst potential, as well as the ability to survive and get out of dodge and be ready to fight another day, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the Wukong how to build video, as I bring you guys the absolute best Wukong build in the business. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, until next time.